Journaling thoughts and emotions onto paper can help process them and to clear the mind. By writing things down, it can help create what we would call, in psychology terms, cognitive diffusion, where we look at the thoughts from the outside rather than sometimes feeling stuck in them. By spending only a few minutes each day journaling, studies have found it to be immensely beneficial. Today I'll be sharing with you some of my favourite journaling ideas from a psychologist's perspective. So let's get started. The most commonly used and evidence-based method is the night journal, often referred to as the bedside journal. It allows you to reflect on the day and to clear the mind of worry before going to sleep. If you've been thinking of starting some night journaling, or were after a few more ideas on how you are currently journaling, it can often be easier to complete this if you have some prompts to answer, as the thought of writing down what is on your mind can sound a little difficult to get started. Well, it does for me. Some of the commonly used prompts include questions like, what was on your mind today? What was challenging today? What are some things you are proud of from today? An example night journal entry may be, I noticed I was feeling really angry today because I had an argument with my partner. However, I am really proud that I was able to talk to them about it and resolve it, even though I was still hurt by this. By simply identifying some things that you are also grateful for can be a very beneficial exercise. Which leads me to gratitude journaling, which is another type of journaling altogether. Through acknowledging things we are grateful for, it can help us to focus our attention onto good things, rather than allowing our brain to naturally focus on the negatives, or things that are worrying us. Gratitude journaling helps us to recognize things, acknowledge them, and then appreciate them. There are so many benefits to showing gratitude and appreciation. It can actually release dopamine and serotonin in our brain, the two neurotransmitters that make us feel happy. The way I would go about starting a gratitude journaling practice is to answer questions like, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? Who is someone I'm grateful for today? What is something that made my day special today? Or what did I learn today that I'm grateful for? So for example, you might journal something that made my day special today was when I was able to relax after work and watch one of my favourite TV shows. Or another example is that I'm grateful to my friend who calls me to see how I'm going and check in on me. These prompts are all great ways to reflect on the day and to acknowledge things that we are thankful to have or experience. Research has found that sleep quality improved for those who journal before bed. And it can be so common for many people to struggle switching off their mind when it comes time to relax and fall asleep. If you do have difficulty sleeping, you may even want to try a sleep journal, referred to as the 3 a.m. journal. And the idea of this is to relieve your mind of those worries that can sometimes wake you in the middle of the night. The idea around this method of journaling is that by writing these thoughts down on paper in the night, hopefully our brain can feel a little more free or at ease and not worry about trying to remember things that are on our mind or things we have to do, or feel like we have to rehearse or plan something over and over as we know it won't be forgotten. How I would go about structuring this would be to write things down such as, what is on my mind? Why is this worrying me so much? Do I have any ideas on how to address this worry? Or what do I have to do tomorrow? An example response to one of these prompts may be that I am worried about a work presentation tomorrow that I need to do a bit more work on in the morning. I might be inclined to write down some points that I want to add, and that way when I wake up and read the note, I'll be sure not to forget them. I may also write down how long I need and what time I plan to do it, so that I feel as organised as possible for my mind to rest and fall asleep. If you are awake in the middle of the night, thinking, worrying, and ruminating, then the 3 a.m. journal could be where you write down whatever is on your mind that is stopping you from sleeping. And you can also use the previous prompts regarding what could help and address the worries the next day. But sometimes it can just be a relief to get all these thoughts out of your mind. Another type of journaling is when we do it in the morning, commonly called morning pages. This can be done first thing when you wake or shortly after, and can act as a plan for the day where you might set some goals and tasks to complete. In addition to this, it can be a great opportunity to write down some of your thoughts and feelings that arise as soon as you wake, which can also be called a stream of consciousness or brain dump journal. It can also be a good way to focus on some of your life values so that they are fresh in your mind for you to keep with you as you go throughout the day. This way, it helps to acknowledge how we are feeling as soon as we wake up, but to then create a bit of a plan and set the day up in a positive way. A few of the prompts that are commonly used at this time are things such as, how am I feeling this morning? Is there anything that is on my mind or worrying me about today? What would I like to achieve today? What is something I'm looking forward to today? What is a daily affirmation I can remind myself about today? So if I were to journal with one of these prompts, like how am I feeling this morning, I may write, I am feeling really flat this morning because of my argument with my sister. Something that I aim to do is to go for a nice walk after work, as this always helps me feel better and helps to clear my mind, and is a good way to de-stress after work too. Plus, it's nice to have something to look forward to. I'm also going to be kind to myself as one of my values and take things easy and not criticize myself for not feeling great. Yet another option to anchor the day and tune into how you are doing is a lunchtime journal. This could also be a good way to check in with yourself after completing the morning journal and seeing if you are on track to achieve your goals and following your values and intentions for the day, and could even provide an introduction of a reflection for the nighttime journal. This one may be a little more challenging depending on the structure of your day, or you may find it helps you pause and reflect in the middle of your busy day, where you may do a brain dump journal to clear out any of your morning stress and worries. Or you could use prompts such as, how is my body feeling? Am I living according to my values today? If yes, how? And if no, what actions can help me with this? However, whether you journal in the morning, night, or during the day, the benefit will be the same. So the main thing to consider is to just make it work for you. A lunchtime journal example could be sitting down during your lunch break, taking a breath and reflecting on the day so far, and perhaps writing, I'm feeling quite happy. I feel like I'm on track to achieving what I planned to, but I also noticed I have been thinking a lot about a conversation I had with a friend earlier today, which is making me feel a little sad. I'm not sure how to reconnect with her. Maybe I could message her in a few days to meet for a coffee. Other methods can also include writing letters to others with things you'd like to get off your chest. An example of a letter you could write to someone else may be a thank you letter for something they have done for you, or thanking them for something you always appreciated but never verbalized or properly acknowledged, which could also be related to the gratitude practice. Another example may be if you had an argument with someone, journaling the thoughts and emotions from that is a great way to let out some of that anger and emotionally process the situation. If you had an argument with your partner, for example, you may write them a letter expressing things that you would like to discuss with them about your disagreement and feelings related to it, and what you would want them to know or do differently. You could then give them this letter as a way to help having a conversation about it. If talking feels a little overwhelming, or you may just use it to help clarify what you want to say to them. Now that you know some of the various ways to journal, let's discuss what are the benefits of doing it. By writing our thoughts down and getting them out of our mind, it creates a distance and allows us to see that we do not need to be living through these thoughts, but rather that they are just passing thoughts in our mind that will come and go. It can also help us to accept things, and this can have influences on our overall mood and well-being, and relationships and self-esteem. Journaling can help us improve awareness and to identify patterns in our own thoughts, as well as improve memory and comprehension. By writing down things on our mind that may even begin with a couple of words or a sentence, by focusing our attention on it and putting it into words, it helps us to make sense of it and comprehend it rather than it just floating around in our mind. It can also help strengthen our focus, as we are often multitasking and trying to juggle and remember a lot of things. This way, we can let go of some things and have some more capacity to focus and remember other things. Researchers found that our ability to remember things increased by 20 to 30% for those who regularly journaled. Numerous studies have also shown significant decreases in depression symptoms when we journal. One of the common ways it helps with depression is that it can allow our mind to only focus on one thing at a time. As you are writing it, rather than feeling that there are multiple, often negative or overwhelming or unhelpful things going on in our mind. Through doing this, it can help to challenge unhelpful thoughts that may be getting in the way. It can also reduce our stress levels. When things are written down, they appear to be more manageable, and by reducing stress, it can help to improve our mood. This is reflected in a study that found 65% of people who tried journaling said their ability to manage stress was better. In addition to this, by focusing on one thing at a time, it can encourage more helpful self-talk, helps us feel more able to get things done, and therefore feel more confident and believe the positive thoughts more easily. Journaling can also help us to acknowledge the things that were okay in our day, compared to focusing on things that didn't go the way we hoped. Also, it can help us to identify patterns, meaning that we may be able to identify the things in our lives we worry about, or feel stressed about, or make us feel low. In noticing these patterns, we can then do something different, which hopefully helps us. By identifying the thoughts you are experiencing, it can also help to process them, but also to keep that distance between them. By writing it down, the cognitive diffusion can come into action, where it can be acknowledged that we were feeling hopeless today, rather than I am hopeless. By changing it to something we experienced, it prevents us from applying that self-attachment to the feeling, which is the I am statement, and helping us see that our feelings come and go. So even by spending only a few minutes each day, journaling is a great way to improve our well-being and overall mental health. 74% of people who currently journal, or have in the past, have found it to be a beneficial experience, and 77% of people said it helped them understand themselves better, and they discovered more about themselves. So why not try it? Thanks for listening, and let us know how you go. Because I had an argument with my partner. Sorry. I didn't think it was going to be full of stuff. I thought, is this are all the notes in it?
I might do.
Aim. Open it as I talk.
Yeah.
So the main thing, should I redo it? Because I was trying to catch up because I was falling behind. It's making me sad with a big smile. Like another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I did it, I was like,
Nailed it.
what an idea. And healing us. I want to say helping us. And healing. Oh no, and heal. And healing us see that our feelings. Helping? And healing us see that our feelings come and go. Helping. Yep.